keep you guys posted as to we'll actually do our team introductions once we have a bunch of viewers.
You can wait a few minutes.
We are live.
All right, live.
And, I'm gonna post a quick update to the Kickstarters to come and join us.
Okay.
How you doing over there?
Good. Just keep rolling away. Trying to roll back hard.
What's it like in San Francisco today?
A little muggy, cloudy, yellow.
You guys don't even know muggy.
It's San Francisco summer.
Yep, right on.
Well, the rain's finally cleared from Ireland, so like I'm looking out on a fine 22 degrees day. It's lovely. Wrapped up inside though.
Yeah, that's where we keep you, Joey. That's right. Stay on your face. None of this kite surfing during the day.
Yeah, I got out yesterday though. It was really good. I got out yesterday and it was really, really good. I absolutely killed myself though, to be honest with you. I woke up in a lot of pain this morning.
You do not have a workers' comp policy. Just remember that. Like at this point, or
no, probably flew about like 20 feet.
It wasn't working, so.
And then land on my head.
I thought we're all working all the time.
Oh, true.
Right. What do you think, Adam?
We have 0 viewers right now. So,
all right. Well,
unless the viewer thing is not updating.
At 9 a.m. on a Monday.
Yeah, no one's awake right now.
Oh, here we go. 5 viewers.
okay. All right.
Hey, it can only get better from here.
I like that we outnumber the viewers. That's good. We may as well just have an in-team meeting at this point. Bring on these other 5 as like investment.
It just went from 6 to 5.
Ooh.
I was back at 6 now. I think
even though viewership is anonymous, people are still embarrassed to be the only ones.
Yeah, you post questions like up until the thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a quick post on Facebook.
I did yesterday.
So, Mark?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Nice T-shirt you got on there.
I think it's a great T-shirt. I do, however, think that these webcams make everyone look a few clicks uglier than they actually are.
Oh, great.
Google has this thing, Google Effects for.
I'm looking at myself for the most part. I'm fine. Had a nice kickback on the table saw yesterday.
Oh, man.
Dude, I cannot stay not bloody.
What happened?
Well, I'm cross-cutting these big. I salvaged some big 6x6s from the deck rebuild, and I have a little art project that I'm gonna install on my wall. Right now, my mom's out sanding the blocks, but I'm cross-cutting these things, and I gotta do 48 of them, and it's a lot of work, especially on the sanding, which is why I have my 63-year-old mother doing it right now. And you gotta do passes. And so, you know, I'd like to think that there are about 96, you know, crosscuts on a table saw. One kickback is not that bad. Right?
Oh, man. All right, now there's 25 viewers. This is a real thing now.
Okay. We'll talk about it.
For those of you just joining, Pete's talking about his latest power tool related injury. He's okay though. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fine.
Were you what were you doing? Ripping?
Cross-cutting, and it was the workpiece is too tall for the anti-kickback pawls to get their teeth into. I actually had to take out the whole riving blade because it's too tall. So yeah, it's a pretty dicey cut. Times 96. So anyway.
Yeah. Maybe think about taking those risks.
Pardon?
You're at the helm of the company, Pete. We need you.
Adam, I'm just overhead. You guys do the real work now.
All right. Well, let's go around and just introduce all the folks that are on this Hangout right now. I guess I'll start with myself. My name is Adam Saraceno. I'm the Peak Design Marketing Manager, and I'm here in Austin, Texas, the live music capital of the world.
Wow, nice plug. Right on. I'll go next. I'm Peter Daring, founder of Peak Design, and I'm sitting in my place in Chicago. I live here about 12 days of the month, and San Francisco the rest of the time.
I'm Peter Lockett. I'm here at the Peak Design headquarters in the Dog Patch in San Francisco with the rest of the team.
Jen.
That's it, Jen?
I feel like it's the same people who watch this every time, right? So they know who we are.
All right, fair enough. Go ahead and just go ahead and call everybody out.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
I'm RBJ. I'm the designer guy.
I'm David, the finance guy.
We're so lively here at 9 a.m. today.
Yeah.
Mark,
So-
who are you? Mark.
Yeah. Oh, my name is Mark Wang. I'm here in San Francisco.
What
as
do you
well.
do, Mark?
That's a good question.
Mark does business technology.
Director of Business Technology. New title. Bam.
All right.
I'm Joseph. I work alongside RFJ, and I'm here in Ireland.
Yes. Joey recently acquired a visa through some system of either getting super lucky or greasing the wheels in a way we're not sure. But anyway, he gets to come back to San Francisco once that stuff clears in September. Well done, Joey.
Lovely.
All right.
All right. Well, let's get right into the questions here. As we mentioned before, for those of you who are just joining, this meeting is just about for you to ask us any questions you want about the Kickstarter, about our current products, our future products, whatever. You can ask by using the Q&A button to post a question. You can also vote up other questions that you see to get them higher in the queue, and we're just going to go from the top down and try to answer as many of these as possible. So let's start with the one at the top here. From Nick Humphreys, any chance of a smartphone mount to go with the POV kit?
Ooh.
Nice.
I'm telling you, there's a chance. Yeah, I think without revealing too much, I can say that we're definitely paying attention to smartphones. We're a ways off of having the product that we really want, but there's obviously great opportunities in that space, and I think we want to be right there.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Let's see. Here we go. From Peter Glynn, are you considering other projects down the line? Be interested in seeing some sort of camera battery clip or holder for the belt to accompany Capture Pro clip system?
Peter, I saw your comment on the board, and there's actually a company called Rhino Gear. A lot of folks who are heavy into video, those are the ones who are most commonly switching out batteries and things like that. They actually have a cool little belt clip. So it has been done before. And really that uses a clip that's a lot more similar to like a pager or something like that. You don't really need our heavy-duty clip. You know, the reason Capture is built out of aluminum and so strong is because it handles really heavy gear. Something like a battery is plenty light. And so given that from a materials perspective, you don't need so much to carry a battery, we think we're going to let the existing products on the market kind of solve that problem, and I don't think that we're going to get into it.
All right. M. White asks, will it come in other colors than black straps and red trim? I think the correct answer to this is in the future, we really want it to. In the time frame of the Kickstarter, it's not going to be possible. Art, maybe you can talk a little bit about the work you've been doing researching additional colors, color palettes and options.
Yeah, sure. Anytime you introduce different color schemes or different sizes or different configurations into the mix, things become significantly more complicated. So for us, we've really tried to keep it simple so we can kind of, I don't know, focus our efforts in other places. But Slide in particular probably lends itself to different color schemes more than any of the other products that we've ever made. And I know that personally all of us in the studio really want to see some different colors, and we get that feedback quite a bit. So we're definitely working on it. Kind of mocked up a couple of some concept art and stuff for it, and been getting pretty good feedback, but no hard info on if and when it'll happen at this point.
I think it's also important for us to have a little understanding about how this product's used in the market, and making sure that everything that we put together is where we want it to be. We're very confident in our design now, but we also need to understand what the demand is here, so we can figure out how many colors to order, you know, how many units to order. We've ordered enough for us to at least to get through the holiday season in a very strong way, but we need to see how this takes in the market as well.
Yep. Good answers, fellas.
Cool. The last thing I'll say is that when we do explore color options, part of that process will be reaching out to our Kickstarter and customer community to better understand what colors you guys want to see. So we'll definitely involve you guys in that process, and it will be fun.
All right. What's next, Adam?
All right. Jan Roger Olsen, or it could be Jan Roger Olsen, depending on part of the world that Jan or Jan is from. Will it be possible to use Slide with a backpack? And then in parentheses, Slide over the body as a sling strap and the backpack over the slide.
Yeah, we've done it in the office quite a bit, and when we're running around with it, I mean the strap is very low profile, so it does work out for it pretty well. There can occasionally be a little bit of hang up on the adjusters, but nothing serious, and definitely not as much as something like a full padded Black Rabbit or something like that, where you've got basically as much padding as your backpack strap kind of bulked up on it. And then sort of the nature of the slippery webbing sort of allows it to kind of slide over and through your gear pretty well. So I think that it works really well with the backpack, actually.
I agree. I wore one the other weekend, and my only recommendation would be that you loosen the back buckle all the way down, and then you just leave it for front adjustment. That way you get less infringement out of any buckle that might catch.
And so you guys know, Pete Lockett is probably the guy who has the most in-field experience with Slide of anyone in the world for the time being. He's been using it for a long time. He's the guy who, when we put together a photo or video project, he's headed it up. And so he's got great, real experience with it. That's a big help to us all the time.
That's pretty cool. All right, next question from Flint Stelter. Guys, can you do a backpack? Will you do a backpack? What's your favorite backpack for urban/outdoor?
That's a good question.
We've gotten this question a lot in different forms. And generally speaking, the answer is our philosophy is that you should use the right pack for you and for your gear and for your activity. And we don't think there's necessarily one pack out there that is the best for all circumstances. We, even within the office, all have different opinions on what's a good pack, what even is a good type pack to use. So will we ever come out with our own backpack? It's not high on the development roadmap. I think if we were to tackle a problem in the pack space or the bag space, it might be how to turn any bag into a very useful camera bag. That's probably something that we kicked around more than any other idea. In terms of favorite backpacks for photography, you'll probably notice that in most of our own product photography, we're using f-stop camera bags. It's a great company that makes really fantastic adventure photography bags for, from all the way from like a multi-day pack down to a day pack and smaller. So we recommend f-stop bags a lot. Think Tank has great camera bags. They have a new company called Mindshift that makes great adventure photography bags with a system, like a modular system that gives you easy access to your stuff. I don't know if anybody else had anything to chime in.
I'm going to say f-stop. I mean, Art's got a Chrome bag there, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, for the urban stuff, the Chrome photo bag, the
Nico.
The Nico is a great bag. Just the way that it opens up and it's really low profile and kind of incognito. I think for urban stuff, that's pretty up there.
I think Pete and I are both pretty big fans of any pack that have that rear access, where you can really open it up and just get a big look at everything in there. That's a really nice feature. A lot of f-stop bags have that stuff.
Right.
As far as whether Peak Design will make one, Art's got, gaining a lot of great experience in soft goods. We all are. But I think bag design is a pretty ambitious patterning exercise and not something that we have the experience necessarily to pull off right now. And I say that, with a lot of respect for the designers who are out there. I think my mom has no idea that I'm being broadcast right now to people. just milling about. All right. Anyways, yeah, bags are a big deal, and so they need to be considered seriously.
Yeah, we'll more to come on that, hopefully.
Great question, Flint. All right, Jared Roberts. Can we get a close-up of the clutch being attached and removed from a camera that already has a micro anchor on the top right attachment point?
Interesting. Can I just go off this? You want to show that?
Sure. Here, let me take my slide off real quick. Well, it kind of depends on the camera. This is a D7000, so it's a little bit easier on this one in that it has the triangle D-rings already. I'll show you in sort of the reverse order. This is the clutch setup there, and then with the triangle D, you just have enough room to get an anchor on. Sorry, I need two hands.
And I think he probably wants to see it going in and out because I imagine what he's trying to figure out is how cumbersome is it when you've already got an anchor attached to take on and off your clutch.
It kind of depends on the camera how your lug is, but so there's the anchor with the triangle D, and again this is a little bit airier than the other ones. On a Canon, some of the smaller Canons where they have the recessed lugs, it would probably be a little trickier, and you might even need to pull out a key or something like that to jam it in there. But on this particular camera, it's super easy. So that was on and off. And that being said, you can get these little rings if that's something that's super important to you. These little triangle attachment rings are super easy to find, and that'll give you some more sort of open space to get extra anchors in there. And Peter Daring also, on his particular setup, he had this kind of thing where he was wrapping an anchor around the clutch strap itself, and that seemed to work pretty well. I'm not quite sure exactly what his setup there was, but
I think
I did that back at the house, or back here as well, on a situation where you don't have a triangle D-ring, and we took on the frequently asked questions FAQs. We took a step-by-step picture series on how to set that up, and it just takes a second. Yeah, obviously, the less room you have to work there, the longer it's going to take to set up. But I think the triangle setup is probably the easiest if you have one.
Right, and I mean the obvious solution. We always recommend using slide with either 2 anchors on the bottom or 1 on each side here. So by having clutch on the right-hand side, you still have the left lug freed up for the extra anchor there. So hope that answers the question. What do we got next?
Adam?
Oh, we lost Adam.
Okay.
All right. Let's just go to the next question here then.
Will you make a lens cover catch or recommend one? Maybe somehow to clip a lens cover somewhere. We get that one asked that quite a bit also, and as of now, there's been a little bit of internal debate about it, but as of now, we don't really feel like it's. I know it's sort of a problem that a lot of people have, but we don't feel like it's. We have some bigger fish to fry, I guess, at the moment. And we're probably not going to put our resources towards that. And I think Pete had a good suggestion last time. He basically said that he recommended using just a UV filter and a hood as opposed to a lens cap, and then just ditching the lens cap altogether.
That's a very personal thing, and definitely there's some people who, probably the people who are asking this question are slapping themselves in the head right now saying, I don't want to do that, I want a lens cap, which is reasonable as well. But products like the Hoofa, they do a fine job. There's some magnetic out there, or, you know, I like back pockets. I don't know. It hasn't struck me as a serious enough problem that you know, to solve. So that's where we're at with that. Adam, you're back. What's up, man?
I'm back. Sorry, computer plotzed.
It's all right.
Okay.
We just talked about lens caps, so we're just beyond that.
Okay. Let's see. So we do? How about patches for backpacks to show our love for Peak Design? Did you see that one?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's take them down.
How about patches for backpacks or other bags to show our love for Peak Design, or stickers? Stickers are always awesome. We just talked about putting stickers in our packages, actually. So we do plan on doing that. Patches would be sweet. Belt buckles, maybe. Who knows? We can go crazy.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, I like patches. I want patches.
Art's a patch guy.
I'm a patch guy.
Patch guy. Let's see. How comfortable is Slide? You said it's made of seatbelt-like stuff, but seatbelts tend to cut through my skin easily and make nasty red bloody lines when I wear anything that has less cloth than a t-shirt.
Wow, it's pretty uncomfortable seatbelt.
Will Slide do that, or is it padded?
Not like seatbelt stuff. Then.
Yeah, it's about 5 steps up from seatbelt webbing, that's for sure. Maybe I'll give you a sort of a close-up, and you can sort of see it's much softer and more supple.
Well, the edges, though, are the issue here, Art, and show what we've got going on the edges, because that's
right. Okay. Well, number one, so it's tubular webbing, so the edge is much sort of, it's rounder and it's thicker, and then the pad itself, so it's tubular webbing that is padded, so it does have a it transitions from non-padded to padded here, and that's the portion that'll actually be in contact with your shoulder, and it is very slippery and comfy and has nice round edges on it, and I think you'll find it to be very comfortable.
Which is all part of the weave that we specified and went through numerous samples back and forth with the webbing factory in order to find something that did not have a sharp edge. And we found that most things that had a really sharp edge were thin and were heavily ironed. So there was that crease that was you know, like a knife edge that would give that that red line that you talked about. But we also recently got tank tops in the Peak Design office, and we're slide with them, and we don't have any trouble. So if that's not proof in the pudding, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think you won't have felt anything like the webbing on our strap. It is all custom spec for us. The sort of base inspiration was definitely the seatbelt, in that in its strength and sort of structure and that sort of slippery quality to it, but it's definitely our own thing. So.
All right. Matt Brown asks, are there any plans to produce a Peak Design belt system? My one concern with using the Capture Pro on my waist is the clip is only as strong as the belt and buckle I'm wearing.
Right. Yeah, so that's something that people have been saying to us since the beginning, basically, is either something similar to what you just said, or what belt do you recommend? And the answer is we don't really have a single belt that we recommend. And in the past, we've turned people towards a lot of the think tank products, or F-Stop makes a really cool, like, heavy-duty pro camera belt. But as far as just simple leather belts that hold up your pants and can hold your camera as well, we don't really have any good recommendations there. And it is definitely something that we've thought a lot about and we've talked a lot about. And I think it's safe to say that one of these days we're going to pull the trigger and probably do some sort of belt. Exactly what form that takes, I can't say yet, I guess.
Well,
you know,
I think that Art, you're maybe selling it a little short. We are going to do a belt, and we've been through. It's very high up on our design priority, and we will get there. But we're very cautious to make sure that it contains all the functionality that we really want, which includes style, utility, and comfort, and also versatile enough to work in different environments, whether that be just for a full-on, all-out, big-time shoot with 3 bodies and a couple of 300mm lenses, things like that, or just something more casual around the city where you want great support. So that's the product. It's being developed. It's going to take some time, but we'll get there.
Excellent. All right. Tom Mortar Lang asks, probably a minority worry, but how strong is the connection to the camera? Thinking if somebody tries to grab your camera and pull hard, trying to steal your camera, lives in London, UK, hence the question.
Yep. I think that
in London, I guess.
Your weak point is probably going to be on the lug of the camera. No, I don't think our products will be breaking before your camera does. So probably the strap lug is where you're going to get the damage, depending on what kind you have, obviously.
That camera.
The triangle.
They're very strong. We've worked very hard to make sure that everything on here, there's no weak links in the chain, so to speak. Slide and clutch feature our sort of Gen 2 anchors, which are significantly stronger. Most people won't notice much of a difference from the Gen 1, but which we've had 0 failures with, essentially. And these ones are more refined, stronger, and I mean, they're very strong straps. I would put them head to head with anything else out there for sure.
Yeah, I think we actually have a video that at some point we'll cut and post up on YouTube of a strength test, right? Don't you have? I feel like I've seen footage of you hanging like 150, 175 pounds of metal from.
Yeah, I think we did it in a very precarious way where we were using the dolly and a bunch of balancing mechanisms, and we looked at it. I was standing on it, and it was like, well, this is great, but it looks stupid because it looks like we're behaving irresponsibly. So that's why we're not going to put that one out. Because we kind of were behaving irresponsibly. But yeah, it's super strong is the point. Your camera, you'll get whether it be the tripod socket wanting to eject. Now both these things are connected to the camera frame, and every camera is different in how it connects there. But most likely that'll be your point of failure, which means it won't fail. It's just really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Next question here. I'm debating between getting the new Pro plate or the micro plate for my camera, or just using the standard plate that comes with slide and clutch. Can you put them right next to each other in front of the camera for size comparison? You guys have a new Pro plate?
On the Kickstarter
I think
page,
the best thing to do is just put the link to the page that shows all the different sizes right next to each other. No matter what we do, it's not going to.
Even the one that is on the Kickstarter page itself, I believe those are all relative size to each other. So just scroll down about 3/4 of the way down the main Kickstarter page. There's a nice top-down view of it. Yeah. What's up, Adam? What's next? I just want to keep everybody.
Cool.
There's the Pro plate versus the micro plate, and I know that's a fisheye lens, so there's a lot of distortion there. But so the Pro plate is quite a bit thinner, but the the micro plate is quite a bit thinner, but not so much that it really makes that big of a difference unless you have a very, very thin camera. Our sort of messaging with Pro plate is that standard plate or our messaging with microplate is that unless you have a camera like a Sony NEX or something with a very thin body, then the standard plate or the Pro plate will work just fine for you. I mean, our Dave has a Fuji XE1 or EX1, and that's a mirrorless camera on the smaller end, and he still likes the standard plate or the Pro plate because they only hang off the bottom of this camera just a little bit, and it doesn't bother him. And the 4-way entry into capture is worth it for him. So
cool. All right. Have you considered making a version of the slide camera strap attachment that is essentially just an Arca mount clamp? I have permanent L plates on my camera bodies and would like to leave them in place with the strap rapidly removable via an Arca mount. So I think this is Craig Ruau. I think what Craig's asking is sort of the idea of having an actual Arca clamp, and that would be how you attach your camera to the strap. It hasn't really been a consideration for us. We do, however, know that L plates can be a hindrance to using our system. The right answer to the right solution to that problem, in our eyes, is to create a capture-compatible L plate. And we're looking to companies like Really Right Stuff to actually produce one of those for us, since that's really their core competency, is making custom plates. So it's something that we're looking to an outside company to do. They haven't done it yet, but we recommend giving them that feedback so that they know that there's a demand for it.
Yeah, well, that applies especially for capture, but he's talking about for slide. And I would say that the answer is just to find some mounting points, especially on an L bracket. There's so many loops and holes on those things. Just find somewhere to put an anchor, on your L brackets, and then you can use the quick connect system, and it'll be lighter and faster than having an additional ARCA clamp. I think that's probably the solution.
Definitely.
All right, let's see. Questions are starting to pile up here, so we'll try to be a little quicker on how we go through these. I know it's too late now, but maybe V2, any thoughts of anti-theft wire integrated into the slide from Thomas Scheimer?
Hey, Thomas. Definitely thought about that one and considered it. I think that, if I'm a thief, I'm going to go for it with my scissors on the anchor anyways. And, there's no way we can embed a steel wire into that anchor and get it to perform how we want to. So, including it in the strap would be all for naught. It also changes the dynamics of how it feels and everything. And, in practice, if you're in a location where you've got a dicey situation, recommend that you swivel it so that it's in the front of your body. And if you team it up with capture as well, it's going to be a lot of movements that thief has to take in order to get that thing off of you. And chances are they're not going to be able to do that. So no wire, I don't think at this point, nor in the future.
Yeah, there's been debate. There's been debate around the Peak Design office about whether the wire is actually more marketing hype than anything. Also, we have yet to find anyone who has actually had a camera cut off of their body.
Well, no, that's not true. When I studied abroad in Italy, I watched it happen myself. So it does happen. I know that it happens, but we got to keep that. I think I said our piece there. We got to keep on. We got a lot of questions here.
All right, let's keep moving.
Let's see. Similar question to Tom Mortimer Lang. Are the links stronger than the links for slide? Wally Brooks.
Same ones. Anchor links are the exact same as the ones on slide. And again, your fail point is going to be at the camera.
Is there anything leash can do that slide can't?
Great question.
Fit in your pocket.
Fit in your pocket. That's a very good point. That's perfect. That is exactly what it can do, which is a nice feature. Gotta say, it's a really nice feature. But as far as as far as making it so that it can reattach to itself, you can actually take an anchor with slide and attach it to the doubler in the same way that you can with the leash. So not too much different as far as functionality other than that.
Yeah, I'd say leash definitely, if you're using it simply as a tether for your camera while using capture, leash is a much better product at that. But I guess you can't say that slide can't do that, because it can. It just doesn't do it as well as leash does.
Sure.
Yeah. Way to think of it. Slide is sort of the full function pro adjustable strap, and then leash is sort of the ultralight kind of minimalist version that makes a great tether for capture.
Andreas Lostromos asks, how do we know that the plate will work with our tripods? Are they meant to? The short answer is our plates are meant to work with any ARCA compatible tripod. Andreas, basically you got to figure out whether or not your tripod is ARCA compatible, and that's something you can look on the packaging. You can call the store you bought it from. You can email the manufacturer. If your tripod is ARCA compatible, then our plates will very likely fit with it. We also have the Pro Plate, which will fit with most Manfrotto RC2 tripod heads. So if you have one of those heads, you can order the Pro Plate, and it should be compatible with that. Another question is from Thomas Scheimer. Will the clutch interfere with the operation of the Capture V2 with the original Pro Plate in both directions, since the original plate is more flat with the attachments?
I think I know what he means. No. So when you're Thomas, when you're bringing when you're bringing capture in, and whether you've got the Arca plate or the dual plate, you can see that the slot is biased towards the back of the camera. So your anchor is going to fit more towards the back, and so the anchor cord is going to be biased in that direction, and it's barely going to kind of nudge your capture upon sliding in. So it's really, like you might see just a little bit of resistance, but by that time you're already in the channel for capture. So no, it actually works great.
He's talking about the original Pro plates, Pete. So like a dual or an Arca plate.
Dual or the Arca, that's what I meant. And the slots are biased towards the back.
Oh, okay.
How heavy of a camera have you tested with your Pro plate on capture? I worry about rotation above all else. Outside of the PD office, there are people that use our clip system with medium format cameras, like Mamiya cameras. You can go on our website. We've got pictures of people using them with 400 millimeter lenses. So really, our clip.
The rotation, even with here to put it in perspective for you, even with the microplate, so that the anti-twist that you generate comes from a combination of the amount of surface area of the red material we use, 70 Shore PVC, with how much does that contact the plate and how much force is it going up with. So because we have a hex key in there and you're supposed to use that hex wrench, you can really crank on that thing. And even with the microplate, you could put a giant lens in portrait and it's not going to turn. When you start using any of our Pro plates, that's really the case. It's like concrete on there. It does not rotate. And that's different than a lot of plates out there. And we worked really hard on that aspect of the design and are very, very happy with what we came up with.
Yeah, I would put the anti-rotation properties of our plates up against anything else on the market. They're inset into the plate, so they don't rely on the shear strength of the adhesive to prevent the rotation or the failure of the plate. So yeah, they're top notch for sure.
In a related question, Mike Hatton asked, the Pro plate doesn't seem as strong or as sturdy as the original Manfrotto base plate with a full frame metal DSLR. Any plans to make a slightly beefier version?
It's solid. It's super solid. It's lighter weight than the original Pro plates, no doubt about it. But it's lighter in all the right places, and that's about optimizing. That's what happens when designs mature over time, and we really, really nailed it with this latest Pro plate.
Yeah. Pete, when was the last time that Manfrotto updated their plate design, do you think?
1978.
Okay.
I used my 60D with a hefty Sigma 1755 millimeter wading through a river while fly fishing this last weekend. Never once did I worry about it that it was going to come off. It must have been about 5 pounds, Brian Rodriguez says. So.
Perfect. Thanks, Brian.
Party on, Brian. M. White asks, you have 2 versions of the logo. Which one is correct? The one with the peak design under the first P, or the one with the peak design extends underneath the words, the width of both P's? Well, we have multiple versions of our logo because sometimes you have different needs. Sometimes you need a more square logo. Sometimes you need a more lengthy logo. So the answer is both are correct. If you're looking for our logo, you can download that off of the media page on our website, and we have several versions of it there. So thanks for asking. Mike Hatton says, I have anchors on my camera, but I might want to use my own strap. Do you have couplers with just a slot that I can mount my strap to? It sounds like, Mike, that you would our Anchor Links product would solve your needs. We have so Slide and Clutch are the 2 main products in this Kickstarter, but we have a third product. If you scroll down the Kickstarter page called anchor links that are essentially a set of links that allow you to take any standard camera strap and turn it into a strap that uses our quick connection system. So, so yeah, I think anchor links are for you.
Yep.
Have PD considered plates with longer clamping area?
Longer clamping area. I think he means probably longer contact. Oh, no. I'm sorry, longer clamping area, of course. Yes, we've considered them. So what you're talking about, for everybody's knowledge, is if on a lot of Arca plates, you'll see like a long, skinny rectangle, and that's got that 45-degree chamfer for the whole length of it. And really, the purpose of that is kind of about weight distribution. Depending on your lens, it may make more sense for it to be biased towards the back or biased towards the front, something like that. Here's where we come down on that. With the system that we've got on the bottom, it's super strong. It's not just anti-rotation, it's also anti-tilt. So the main problem that you're experiencing, and the reason you'd want to bias something towards the front or towards the back, is because when you have a longer lens on, and you're mounted to a tripod, you want to make sure that you don't get that droop at the end there. That doesn't occur surely it's going to be a big stress on your tripod if you're doing, if you've got a 400 millimeter up there. But then you're mounting the lens to the tripod. You're not mounting the camera body to it. So we actually, just because of the rigidity of that connection on the Pro plate, we have not found the need for a longer clamping area. So plus that, the second you do that, then you eliminate the ability for it to go in all four directions. So it's preserving the four directions and the fact that it's just sturdy enough where you don't need it.
All right. Are there free upgrades to existing products? Smiley face. So when you improve on the design, not that it isn't already perfect, can we get free upgrades?
I'm afraid not. I've asked Apple the same thing. I was thinking I could get an iPhone 6 when they get it out here, on account of the fact that my 5 just got a weak processor now compared to the 6. But they told me no, and I think that in all things we try to learn from the companies that have come out before us. And the fact of the matter is that improvements over time are a natural progression in products, and thank God, because it would be a fulfillment nightmare. There's not really any precedent for upgrading as they go along. So, early adopters of products are definitely very, very familiar with this kind of sting that accompanies that. But that's kind of the way it goes, I'm afraid.
I'd also say that none of our products really become obsolete. They all have a lifetime warranty. There's plenty of people that we run into all the time that are using the original V1 capture because it's a great product and it's built to last a lifetime and it has a lifetime guarantee. So when new stuff comes out, you shouldn't feel like your old stuff is useless, because it's far from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a good resale market on eBay for our stuff, surprisingly.
There you go. Chris Brown asks, and I wonder if this is the Chris Brown.
Probably.
Most likely. We're going to assume this is R&B singer Chris Brown asks, can we expect to see a rainfly / cover for capture in the near future?
I think that might be the Chris Brown I sat next to on the plane back from Ireland, who shoots for and writes freelance for some great magazines. So Art, why don't you go ahead and answer this one?
Yes. Yeah, we want to do a rain cover. It's been something that everyone has asked for right from the beginning. Again, it's one of those kind of ones that keeps coming up, and yeah, I'm working hard on it actually at the moment, and desperately trying to turn it into a great standalone Peak Design worthy product, and not have it be a crappy shower cap scenario, and making good progress there. Still got a ways to go, but yeah, we're very excited about it.
Yep. going to be a phenomenal product.
Yeah, absolutely. This question may have been asked before. When can I expect to receive my clutch? I can't wait to try it. I guess the short answer to that is we are, as stated on our Kickstarter rewards, we plan to fulfill everything during the month of October, but we are working feverishly to make that date as soon as possible. So the official answer is that within the month of October, you should receive your clutch. Hopefully sooner.
Right on.
When do you expect to ship the clutch and slide for those of us who pre-ordered? Need one now. Well, same answer. You should be able to get it within the month of October. All right. Cheeky question from somebody who's already a backer, Tom Morterlang. Love the gray jacket worn at 3 minutes and 5 seconds of the slide video on the Kickstarter. Where's it from?
Pretty jacket.
I think he's talking about Jan and your patches.
Hey, that's my jacket. Right on. Patches.
I don't know if you want to give away your fashion advice yet, though, Pete. You know,
it's a little boutique store that can only be found in every single major city in the world called H&M. I believe it retails $59.95. And if you don't mind threads coming loose every now and again, it's a great buy.
Man, I wish that question was never asked.
Wait a second. Wait a second. 3 minutes and 5 seconds. No, that doesn't sound right at all. Well, we need to check the time on that. I'll look on that. Next question, and I'll come back to that.
All right. Some lenses, like the 7200, have a tripod mount directly on the lens. Which mount do you encourage to use with the Pro Plate, the lens or the camera?
I think it also depends where you're balancing it. If you're balancing it on your tripod, I definitely recommend it on the lens.
Right.
Just because out of ease, and the reason they put it there is to actually help the balance. But I think for carrying sake, if you're going to carry it on your backpack or belt, it's definitely ideal to have it on the camera body.
Yep.
I don't think we're talking about the right jacket, but that's all right.
What do you got, Pete? What do you got?
Didn't he say 305 in the slide clutch video?
Yeah.
Maybe slide clutch video. Maybe it's the how to or the what makes slides so great.
All right, I'll check that one. Keep going.
How are you planning to celebrate on August 16th?
Oh boy.
I believe on August. So our Kickstarter.
We have two celebrations.
And as customary, we'll do a little countdown on the evening of August 15th. We'll do another one of these hangouts for folks, a little countdown and toast. And I believe on August 16th, the day afterwards, we're doing a team float trip. Is that correct?
On inflatable animals.
Down a Class 3 river in Northern California.
Class 2, but yeah, it's okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm going into Chili Bar.
Wow. That's gonna be us.
That's a two-person float, just so you know.
Right, clearly. Going with one small girl on it, but it's gonna be a two-person.
Bring your own.
And by the way, that was the code 305. So.
All right, mystery solved.
All right, there you have it, Tom. That's Pete. There's actually, if you Google, there's an article. Who wrote that article about like Silicon Valley tech fashion?
Oh God.
I believe it was the New York Times, Adam.
Have you heard of it?
Google Peter Deering New York Times, and you'll see a great article about Pete's fashion sense and how he does it, how he's so put together.
About what is Silicon Valley?
Yeah, what that T-shirt's from one of the trunk clubs, right?
Yeah.
Funny thing is, we're not a Silicon Valley tech company. We're
a San Francisco hardware company, but they just really needed to pump out an article, and they thought I was presentable.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like a real tool bag on that one.
Yeah. For the record, I think I was misquoted.
You absolutely were. Are you kidding?
They just made up whatever they wanted to say. They're like, oh, we need a generic bullshit quote, and they just made one up and they put it in there. And I guess that's what we have.
I was in the room for the interview and I read the article and I was like, what are they talking about? It's completely
whatever.
different. Yeah.
We're gonna sue them for libel, slander, whatever.
Okay, Jim L., will you make a lens cover catch or recommend one? Maybe somehow to clip a lens cover to somewhere. I think we covered this earlier. Did we talk about
First question?
Definitely want it.
But maybe Pete, the people have spoken.
The people have spoken. All right. The thing is, it exists out there. It's called HUFA. H-U-F-A.
Another Kickstarter for it too.
Yep.
Okay.
There's quite a few out there. So nothing that we're going to approach at this point, I don't believe.
All right.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, there's Luke.
Sorry I'm a bit late. How's everyone?
Well,
no worries. Luke, do you want to introduce yourself? We've got there's 81 people here.
Yes, crowd. My name is Luke Roberts. I am the sales manager for Peak Design, and I live in Oxford, England. And it's a lovely day here today.
That's what everyone in your neck of the woods is saying. There must be some event to be a lovely day over there.
Yeah. I was cracking the questions.
All right. Jason Long asks, I have a Canon T3i. Would a Pro Plate block the battery door?
Negative. You're clear.
I don't believe so.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. All right. Will the Peak Design bottle openers be orderable through the Kickstarter campaign? Alternatively, will you give me one voluntarily when I see the winky face?
I vote we give whoever asked that question one of them.
Yeah. If you come see us at Photokina, we will give you, and actually that's not, bottle opener is one of the many things that tool does.
Actually, let's talk about that because we haven't even announced Capture Tool.
Oh, right.
So that's Capture Tool, and essentially it's sort of the multi-tool for capture users. And you have a bottle opener, of course, but then you have a 4mm hex wrench for tightening the plates on your camera. You have a
V1.
You have V1 clamping bolt wrench here. You have a GoPro clamping bolt wrench. POV kit screws, as well as the twist lock on Capture V2. They're the same. And then you have the Capture V2 clamping bolts. And what that really is it's a product that is first and foremost great for Capture POV users because they, when you're mountain biking or skiing or whatever, there's a lot of vibration and things can kind of either rattle a little bit loose over time, and this allows you to really crank everything down so that it's sort of semi-permanent, more or less, and then open your beer at the end of the day, obviously. So.
Problem is, if you crank it down and lose tool, you need a wrench to undo it.
Right.
It's so strong, and it's terrific. If you're whitewater kayaking and really want to make sure you hold on to your GoPro or you're skiing, it's awesome. It really is. Actually, the reason it was developed is because we came out with POV kit, and we started skiing. It was right around winter, and we realized that you could mount capture to your power strap on your ski boot, and the ski boot, if you're going really fast, gets a lot of vibration. And then all of a sudden, we'd realize when we're at the bottom of the run that the GoPro was facing down because we couldn't tighten the bolts on GoPro tight enough. And this was even before we came out with our own bolts. So Capture Tool was the answer to that, and it allows you to do both, and it won't budge.
Cool. And we should note that Capture Tool currently comes with Capture POV, which you can buy on our website, and you can also pre-order from Kickstarter.
Let me jump in there, Adam. It currently comes with Capture POV, and it will come with POV kit around Christmas time. We have a large amount of POV kit out there in circulation, and we're looking at introducing that into the POV kit supply chain around Christmas.
Cool. What's the best way to mount a capture plate to a camera that already has an archetype L bracket? That is, we alluded to this a little bit earlier. The best way that we've seen it done is to screw your capture plate into one of the auxiliary tripod holes on your L bracket. Most L brackets will have multiple other tripod mounts, and we recommend screwing it into one of those. Let's see. Are you planning to release an attachment that allows for a second camera to be carried as well? Also a question we get a lot. What do you recommend for carrying two cameras? And I'd say that the two answers to that are using capture and slide. So you have one camera slung across your body or over your shoulder on slide, and another camera clipped onto your belt with capture, or two capture clips, and that will allow you to carry two camera bodies at the exact same time. It looks like Peter Locker right now, as you can see, he's got a camera on the belt, and he's got one on the slide. You can quickly remove the camera from the belt. You can interchange the cameras. It's a super solid way of having both cameras accessible, but also safe and secure.
You could also tell them about the Rambo look, Adam.
Oh yes, the Rambo look is when you have a backpack on and you've got a clip on both sides of your shoulder and you have a camera right there. We call that Rambo. We call that going Rambo. That's what we call it. It's a good name. Let's see. Nick Humphreys, if you ever do lens holsters, I love the idea of the quick draw system, minus the belt thing. Perhaps you can buy them out someday or team up or something.
We've talked several times, and I think quick draw is a cool product. And obviously there's a need there, especially on my last trip where I really wanted a way to hold my lens correctly. And QuickDraw is a good product. I think it's missing a couple of things that would make it a great product. Without saying too much, because it's just a little bit too early, we know what that great product is, and we're going to be making a great product. So stay tuned.
All right. Have you attached the clutch to one of the new Olympus OMD cameras? Specifically, I have the EM10. I'm wondering if the size of the clutch has any kind of negative impact on the camera use.
The EM10 and the EM1 and the EM5, I guess. Well, the EM5 and the EM10 are sort of smaller cameras. They don't have a full-size grip, and in order for this is true for any camera hand strap, to really work, you need sort of that wide area of the grip for the hand strap to push your hand up against. Yeah, if you don't have it, the camera can sort of twist out of your hand pretty easily. So honestly, for most mirrorless cameras, unless they have a full-size grip, something like a GH4 or an EM1 or something along those lines, I honestly don't think that clutch or any hand strap for that matter is really going to be the product for you. That being said, clutch probably has a better, because it's so adjustable on the fly, clutch has a better chance of working for you than any other hand strap out there, for sure, and might be worth giving it a shot.
Yeah, I would also recommend using our Cuff product in that situation. For great for smaller cameras where you want some minimal amount of connection between your hand, your arm, and the camera. Cuff can be great for that. How would you compare your product against the Vulture and Black Rapid products? And I assume by product, Manuel is referring to Slide.
Yeah. Well, Vulture is a very heavy-duty, looks like it's got some really serious heavy hardware on it, and I don't believe it is quick adjust. We've got it here. It's not going to be quick adjust, and the quick releases on it leave a large amount of material on your camera.
What do you mean by that, Art?
Well, so I mean that's the whole point with the the anchor link attachment system, is that when you remove your strap from your camera, all you have is this tiny little disc that's very unobtrusive. It doesn't get in the way. But with something like the Vulture or a lot of other camera straps that utilize like a side release, quick release, or a carabiner or something else like that, it leaves a pretty large connector on your camera. With Black Rapid, the big advantage that we have over Black Rapid is that we don't use your tripod socket, or we can use your tripod socket through use of one of our plates, or or through going on the side lugs of your camera. But and then the main advantage that we have over Black Rapid is going to be the quick adjust functionality, and just the sort of versatility of the product, the ability to have it set up into sort of a more of a traditional neck strap. If you're in a shooting situation, that's what it calls for. If you're kind of in a grab and go scenario, you can use it as a shoulder strap. A Black Rapid as a shoulder strap, well, number one, most of their pads are sort of contoured, so it wouldn't really sit on your shoulder very well. But then the camera sort of will be sliding around and spinning around and kind of not very stable. So I think stability, versatility, and simplicity are sort of the main tenets of Slide.
Right on. Well said, Art.
All right, Mike Rosati suggests that Mike, how you doing? He suggests that we call wearing two slides, like across the chest, like this. We call that the Pancho Villa.
I like it.
Yeah. Writing it down right now.
Writing it down. Putting it on our list. Let's see. Any possibility that it has weight reduction characteristic like Matin neoprene strap? Helps with heavy gear. Are you guys familiar with Matin neoprene strap?
No, I'm not actually. We're doing a little search for it right here. Weight reduction in the sense that there's some shock absorption. Slide is not stretchy, so it's not going to have any of that sort of bumpy. This looks like sort of a more or less a Black Rapid sort of Black Rapid inspired product. And having a stretchy neoprene strap, that basically is like you're walking and the camera will have a little shock. The downside of that is that it also bounces more because of it. So the answer is no, I guess. That being said, that was never a level. I mean, we've used neoprene straps before that have that in them, and it's never been on our priority list of a feature that we thought added much benefit, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see how we could guarantee it for life.
Yeah, that's the other thing with neoprene straps is they do fail. Neoprene is a fairly fragile material. Even the buffer stuff, the stitching can rip out pretty easily.
All right. Another question from Chris Brown. The clutch requires a split ring on cameras that don't have a strap lug. Some cameras, like the Fuji X100, have been known to have issues with triangle rings wearing out the lugs due to the soft metal being used. Is this issue being considered?
Never heard of that.
No, have not.
Soft metal on the lugs or soft metal on the rings? I'm guessing he's saying. I think it's not. He's saying the lugs. That is.
I don't have a triangle ring. Can you put it on?
Never heard that is an issue. I wonder if, so generally speaking, when you have a little eyelet like that, it is possible to get, in many of the cases, not in all of them, but it is possible to get one of the anchors directly in there so you can bypass the triangle ring. I think that you'd have a much better situation if you had our Vectran cord rubbing against that, as opposed to the triangle ring. So I don't know. That's a potential solution there, but without having one of those in hand, I can't say if it fits in there. Sometimes just so you'll have to use like a small pointy object, a pen, something like that, to really cram in the anchor to those small eyelets. But you should be able to get them in there.
Yeah,
That's exactly right, Pete. The X100 is actually the first camera I've seen that doesn't come with the triangle ring. It just has these tiny outlets. And if you're...
Well, it probably does in the package.
Okay. But if it doesn't come with it in the package, then yeah, it's definitely a unique situation that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, bottom line is something like the X100, it wouldn't really work well with clutch anyways, again, because of the...
it doesn't have a hand grip.
It doesn't have a hand grip on it. But... I mean, the triangle rings are a pretty proven camera connection technology.
I think he's not saying the triangle rings. I think he's actually saying the lug itself, and it sounds like it's a specific issue with that camera. I don't think.
I've definitely never heard of it. That is a new one.
Yeah, and it looks like most cases that are used, or most strap attachments for that require a separate case. For that camera that actually holds it like an iPhone case that has lug attachments.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right. Any known weak points with the anchor link? I'm concerned about security while touring certain countries. Could a Hulk-sized man potentially rip my camera away from me?
Our new anchor design withstands on average right now around 115 kilograms per anchor. So if you're going to have two of those on there, you're looking at 230 kilograms, right?
Right. So you're probably going to lose an arm before you're going to lose your camera.
I'd say Locker could break that one for sure.
I don't think so. I think considering you can suspend a person easily using the new anchors, I think you're going to have trouble getting it away.
230 kilograms is 507 pounds.
That's a lot.
I will just throw a caution flag out there, and if he's truly Hulk-sized, he may be able to rip your arm off. In which case, we cannot help you there.
Go on the other side of the street.
Just so you know, a guy who's Hulk-sized can generally always go, "Hey, give me your camera," and then that's what you do.
Yeah.
Other consequences to not doing that.
Right. Fair enough.
Or you can stand up for yourself. Just kidding. Don't do that. Give him the camera.
Okay, Rodney Campbell says, I plan to use the sliding clutch with my existing L bracket, which is a Kirk, on my camera, and not use the supplied ARCA plates. I'm assuming that since there's a strap loop on my bracket, I can just attach your anchor loops to it instead. Absolutely. That's what we recommend you do if you have an L bracket or something already taking up the tripod plate. Use those strap loops or any other loop on that piece of hardware.
Yep.
Any update on extenders?
We got a bunch of them for V1 sitting in the drawer.
Here's your update. Interesting question. I would say that we do not currently have an update. It's definitely been a product on our, that we've thought about for a long time. We're concerned about usage case. We're concerned about knowing what the market is for it. I think certainly for folks for a small percentage of people who already own Capture, it's a good idea. But the thing is when you start mounting cameras, SLRs on things that move around, like bike tubes and stuff like that, you get an incredible amount of vibration. It's just not really practical. So we're waiting until the rest of our products speak more towards that attach it anywhere sort of scenario. And when we have a more cohesive system, then we'll start to really dive into things like extenders in greater detail. But not it's no longer at the very top of our design priority. Would you say that's fair, Art and Pete?
Yeah, but I will say that it's questions like these and emails to info@peakdesignltd.com that give products from our customers and customer requests a real voice. And if you have a dire need for some sort of invention that we can add on to our systems that we already have, we would love to hear about it. And the more we hear about it, the higher it goes on our list. We have a deep list as it is right now, and we always try and make sure that the products that we come out with can stand alone and don't just meet like a niche need, because we want to grow this company, and the more we grow, the more that we can crank out cool products that will attend to everyone's needs.
Right on.
All right, so how do these new products fall in line with your existing product line? And will you be at PDN Photo Plus? We will be at PDN Photo Plus in New York, Halloween weekend. How do these new products fall in line with your existing product line? I would say that right now, at least in terms of how these products relate to our existing straps, we came out with leash and cuff a couple of years ago, which are very minimalist, versatile, quick connecting straps. We learned from customer feedback that people wanted something that was more substantial and that worked more comfortably with large cameras, and B, people wanted specifically a hand strap. And so we extended our product line accordingly with sliding clutch, both of which are 100% compatible with the quick connection system that all of our straps use. So we've basically taken a product line of quick connecting straps and extended it to create more straps that solve more specific problems that photographers have.
Cool.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. This one has some profanity in it. I'll just bleep it out. I don't understand half the shit you're saying, but it doesn't matter. I bought one. I'm excited to get it, and I like knowing the people behind it are cool, funny mofos with their mind focused on making good, quality, unique products.
Better myself. And thanks for bleeping it, Adam.
I don't know why I bleeped it. We don't. Yeah, we're not a real bleeping kind of company.
You didn't bleep it. That's fine.
I'm a marketing guy, and if it doesn't feel good to post on Facebook, then I'll bleep it. That's good. Why do you have a UK-based sales manager?
Luke, answer.
Luke, explain yourself.
You're muted, by the way.
Question. It's kind of long-winded. I got involved with Peak Design at the very start when the first Kickstarter was on, V1 Capture, and I guess I've just been roped in ever since. And now I've always lived here. I'm English.
And I'm
Is that an adequate answer?
Yeah, I'd say in other ways, like, you know, coming from the defense of it, I suppose. We probably had a lot more after the first Kickstarter. The international attention and getting all the European and Asian distributorships set up was a bigger priority than working with all the photo retail stores in the United States. We just couldn't seem to. We just had a lot more attention for the international folks. So that's why Luke was a really good fit. And he's just worked it into his job that, you know, like his morning, his afternoon is focused on the States. We've kind of got our feelers out there as we start to make a bigger push for wholesale within the United States in photo specialty and in terms of outdoor stores. We'll probably be we're talking to a few folks right now, and maybe getting a U.S.-based sales manager before too long.
I also find that the dry, witty humor of the British plays well in sales relationships.
Very well said. It's a great point you make there.
It allows Luke to say things that are completely devoid of substance, and yet they somehow still count positively for him. It's amazing. That sounded too cutting. I'm sorry.
It did.
I overdid it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll get you back tomorrow. Next.
All right. Let's see.
Sorry, Bud.
Show the new Pro Plate mounted to a DAC01 ARCA adapter mounted to a Manfrotto 501 plate. So this person, I believe Nick wants to see an ARCA adapter screwed on top of a 501 plate with a Pro Plate attached to it. I don't know if we have that in the office.
We do.
Give me a second.
There's not that. We don't have exactly that. Yeah, we do. Let's set it up. Maybe should we move on to a new question while he's getting it set up?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Why are there no dealers as yet in the UK? Well, first of all, I don't believe that's true.
Let me field that question. That's not entirely true. We do have a presence in the UK, albeit we've got quite a skeleton network of dealers. We've just gone through a recent change in distributorship there. We are now kind of servicing the UK ourselves. But you can find product available, you know, in Rex. You've got products Premier Ink, Speed Graphic, online players, and then you've got Clifton Cameras. So there's about 8 retailers who are currently stocking, but that's growing rapidly.
For all of those who are listening, you guys have relationships with your cameras, with your local stores, more than likely, and it's always a tremendous help to us. The more you guys can push our products to them, then they start coming to us for outreach. And like I say, wholesale is going to be a really big push. Now that we've got kind of a suite of products that belong on shelves, look great on shelves, now is the time really that it makes sense for Peak Design to be in the wholesale world. Previously, with just 1 or 2 products, yeah, they're great products, but you just can't get them noticed. And so I think it's ripe for the picking now. Yeah. Nope. Oh, there we go.
Here's the an ARCA adapter on top of a 501 plate. On top of a standard plate, actually. On the bottom. So it's actually pretty clean.
And for those who don't really know why we're showing this, a lot of folks out there have tripods that are not ARCA compatible or Manfrotto RC2 compatible. And for those folks, we recommend getting that DAC01 clamp right there. It's like $30 on Amazon, maybe less. Screwing it on top of the plate or on top of your tripod head, and thereby making it ARCA compatible and therefore capture, leash, cuff, slide, clutch, all of our products compatible.
Okay.
Right. Have you guys tested the products? Make sure it does not drop the camera. My black packet dropped my Nikon D600 twice after I make sure it was secure, so I'm just curious. By the way, I think your product is excellent, and I'm excited. Thanks, Emmanuel. We have done extensive drop testing. Art, sounds like you're about to touch on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've not only done quite a bit of user testing with slide and clutch, but we've done tons and tons of failure testing in-house, and our manufacturing partners have a number of QC tests set up in production as well. And again, this uses the same connection system that we've used for leash and cuff, which has gotten across the board rave reviews and 0 failures essentially. So very, very solid system.
Right on. A couple of weeks ago, I backed the clutch. Is there any way to order other stuff as well? I'd like one of the new plates. Can't find it under Manage My Pledge. So yes, there's a way to do that. You click Manage My Pledge, and the things like ordering the new Pro plate, as well as all of our other products, you'll find, if you scroll down our Kickstarter page, you'll see something called the add-on menu. And it has all of our products, and it has a corresponding price. And what you do is you click Manage My Pledge, and you adjust your pledge accordingly. So if you back clutch right now, I think that that's a $30, so the $30 reward, $35 reward. Basically, if you wanted the new Pro plate, I believe you would add on $25 to your pledge, and then you don't specify which products you're pre-ordering until everything's said and done. So the Kickstarter ends August 15th. We'll send you a survey, and the survey will say, hey, we see you picked the clutch reward, and you've got $25 extra here. What do you want to spend that on? And you'll have a list of products to choose from. So that's how we manage add-ons.
All right, let's jump to the next one here.
I've backed Slide, Clutch, and Capture Pro V2. Does each item include anchor points and a plate? Slide and clutch both contain a standard width. Slide comes with 4 anchors. Clutch comes with 2 anchors. And Capture Pro comes with a Pro plate.
Right on.
Mike Rosati asks, when are the beer pong games beginning?
Mike, that is a ping pong table, not a beer pong table. This is serious.
We're grown-ups.
Art has a newfound love for ping pong.
Yeah, so we found a ping pong table in the hall outside our office 2 weeks ago, and it's been a lot of fun.
Productivity is down. Morale is up.
Morale is up.
We never really had a morale issue to begin with, so it's pretty much just productivity is down.
Slide and clutch are going to be late. Playing ping pong all day now.
Can you show slide attached to an ARCA plate via both anchor links? All of your marketing photos show one link attached to the plate and the other attached to the camera. This person uses a Rogue flash bender on their flash, and so they want the camera basically hanging with both attachment points on the anchor, or excuse me, on the plate. There we go. Easy as that. Thanks for the question, Matt. Wait, repeat that. How does it work? I've backed the 150. What does that mean I get?
We like your faith.
So, we have different reward levels. When you back our project, you pick one reward. Everybody gets exactly one reward level. The $150 reward level, you can go to our Kickstarter page and see what you get. You get, it's the Kickstarter combo, Slide, Clutch, and Capture Pro. So if you back at the $150 order level, reward level, excuse me, you get Slide, Clutch, Capture Pro. You can add on additional money to your pledge if you want to order additional products. And the amount of money that you add, you can, we tell you how much to add in the add-on menu, which is on the Kickstarter page. There's also a couple FAQs that explain it even more in depth as well.
And thank you.
Yes, thank you for your support. As a current POV kit user, will the new Capture tool be offered as a separate product from Capture POV? Yes, it will. I believe the plan is still to offer it as a standalone accessory. I'm not sure when we'll be able to do that.
Mark, you got a guess?
POV here.
Capture tool
will be around for just POV kit. It's in Capture POV right now, boxed in there, but due to supply levels and selling the first ones that are produced, it'll not be introduced to the stream, and we will not be advertising it on the website till around Christmas time.
I think he's just asking about a separate tool.
And if you want a second tool, we can put that on the website. We should be able to put that on the website the next week or so. They should be arriving shortly, but I think they're on the boat.
Okay. En route.
Cool.
The answer is yes.
Can the clutch be used with a camera battery grip? It totally can. If you scroll down on our Kickstarter page, I believe we have pictures of it. Underneath the headline says, "And it all works together." There's a picture of clutch on a camera with a battery grip. If you scroll down to our FAQs, the last FAQ or the second to last one has a link to more pictures, and you can see even more pictures of clutch and battery grip being used. Let's see. This must be to somebody says we just hate using Google Plus from Ron Lussier. Sorry, Ron. I know it can be a little hassle because you have to download all those plugins. My computer actually crashed halfway through the meeting today, so it can be rough, but we thank you for bearing with us. This is far and away the best way for us to sort of broadcast a meeting like this to hundreds of people. So if you have other suggestions, we're willing to hear them.
It's about time for one of Pete Daring's "Let's be grateful for technology" speeches right here. It is incredible what we're doing right now. This is amazing. Luke is in London, Oxford, excuse me. Joey's in Ireland. I'm in Chicago. These guys are the same. We're all talking together. It's incredible for free. That's amazing. By Pete Daring.
All right. Mike Rosati asks, is anybody going to be at Outside Music Lands Fest?
Yes, I assume the PD office would be, except that we are, I mean, hell, we probably have a booth, but we're going to be in Salt Lake City for Outdoor Retailer. And then we're going to go take one quick day and break some bones in Moab. So, unfortunately, we're going to miss Outside Lands this year. Actually, yeah. Mark, are you going?
Someone wants to give me a $350 face value ticket, maybe.
Just asking for a raise right on the air. Okay.
All right. Colin Duff asks, just wondering, what is a ProPad? A ProPad is an accessory that Peak Design makes for the Capture and Capture Pro camera clips that Peter Lockett's holding one up right now. It gives you a little bit of extra comfort and stability when carrying a heavy camera or a camera with a large lens in Capture. So the ProPad sits between Capture and your body. It has a semi-rigid pad that basically distributes weight and makes a very heavy camera comfortable and stable. You can pre-order them through the add-on menu of our Kickstarter campaign. In regards to the separate POV tool, any idea on price point?
$9.95.
All right, there we go. G plus Hangouts rule, except that you can't comment, only ask questions. Fair enough. That's true. Actually, this whole question thing is new. Last Kickstarter, we had to do this weird thing where we'd have like the Hangout on one screen, and then we'd have a YouTube comments thread on another screen that we have to constantly refresh. So I have a feeling that if there's something that you want Google Hangouts to do, Google's going to make it do that eventually. Because that's how they do. And that was our last question. We've answered all the questions.
Fantastic.
What was our score?
I think we won, Art.
Yes.
We won all the points.
I got to go help my mom with sanding. I think she's getting totally blown away by that right now. So really good chatting to everybody.
Yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. That was fun, as usual.
Yep.
And we'll be sure to do another one of these Hangouts before the Kickstarter is over. So, so yeah. One last question: can the ProPad be used in combination with backpacks? It sure can. Backpacks and belts. We have a search on YouTube for ProPad Peak Design. You'll see a video showing all the different ways it can be used.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, everybody. You guys have a great week. We're going to be at OR this week, so if you're there, come check us out, and we'll be in touch soon.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.
Toodaloo.
Thanks, guys.